that's why I'm no longer allowed in the North Pole.
Oh, rightfully so. Rightfully so, though.
Yeah.
What you did to those elves, horrible.
All those polar bears.
They won't step on my feet again.
That's true.
Those polar bears.
I mean,
Hey, everybody!
Oh, wow.
Hey,
We were
I didn't
streaming
even
this
notice you there.
see that.
It's a Patreon video. Hey, guys, happy Sunday, and welcome to the finale of Rivals of Waterdeep in Avernus.
That was bad. I did a bad job on that one.
That's all right.
what were you trying to do?
Well, it was harmony. I think you knew I was trying to do harmony. I don't know why you gotta act like that. It's like you want to walk home.
Right. Somewhat harmonious.
Harmonious.
So, hey, guys, before we get into finale shenanigans, let's
Finaligans.
go. Yeah, finaligans.
All right.
Yeah, all right. Let's go around the table and introduce ourselves one last time.
This season.
This season.
Or ever. Oh,
Ever?
God.
Oh, God. Okay.
So one last time. For those listening to the podcast, Cicero's eyebrows are at the top of his head right now because they're raised so high.
Oh, boy.
Starting stage left.
Oh.
My right.
Hey, y'all. I'm Tanya. I'm your paladin, Celeste Astorio. And now Celeste is wondering what she's come back to because final ever sounds very ominous. Celeste's pronouns and mine are she, her.
My name is Brandon Sinnis. I play Ren Leadon. I'm a high elf sorcerer. Pronouns he, him for both me and Ren.
Hi, I am Serena Marie. I play Ashbourne, your half-elf ranger. Our pronouns are she, her.
Hey, my name is Carlos Luna. I play Robbie Dirty D Jellymint, the Teflon Druid. Both our pronouns are he, him.
I'm Sharif Jackson. I play Shaka, Tiefling Warlock, not Teflon.
Yeah.
And, actually, that's like, I've heard both.
I've heard both,
So I don't know
too.
what's the canon. I don't know.
Right.
But my pronouns are he, him.
There is a glossary for those.
But is there a pronunciation guide, though?
Yes, there's a pronunciation guide in
That's helpful.
in the glossary.
'Cause I'm saying
for
things
for lots of things. This guy that's talking right now is your DM. His name is Cicero Holmes. He also plays. He's going to refer to himself in the third person. He also plays all of your NPCs and Perrin Underbow. And for Perrin and himself, his pronouns are he and him, as you've already heard. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
I like how you introduced yourself and you wanted like congratulations.
Yeah.
Like we all did the same exact thing. And like Sister was like, isn't that good?
Yeah, I'm always there to like give you support.
Right.
I'm like, fuck yeah,
I can
that's right.
I
You
can
said
tie
your
my
shit.
shoes.
Like you only heard an example 5 times before you said it.
You guys, I'm special. And if you know me, you know this to be true. So, hey guys, before we get into it, we want to celebrate our friends. We want to welcome everyone in the chat and celebrate our friends, our Cella friends. And we want to go through them very quickly because there's lots of stuff to cover this week. So, our Cella friends are D&D Beyond. They create our digital character sheets and have access to books for content, for D&D content. Check them out at dndbeyond.com. And today, if you're in the chat and you know the secret word, whatever the secret word is, you will find out in the chat. You can get a legendary bundle that is legend, wait for it, dairy. And if you're not in the chat, you can go to dndbeyond.com and you can get your own legendary bundle, but it's going to cost you money. Check it out.
lot of money.
Yes.
Holy crap, legendary bundles, I just looked it up. They're a lot of money.
Enter to win.
I was like, well, how much is a legendary bundle? Actually, I'm on the website.
Oh.
Wow. You guys seen this number? Wow. This is a freaking legend.
It's
legendary.
It is legend.
Heroes get remembered. Legends last forever. The Sandlot was not kidding. It is $632.
Whoa.
That's an amazing
That's
bundle.
an
What a
amazing
value.
deal.
Yeah.
So,
It's a great
yeah.
value.
Yeah, so be in the chat, guys.
That's a lot of numbers.
Also, our dice trays, our dice vaults are made by the great folks over at Wormwood. And use the code RIVALS for free domestic shipping at wormwood.com. So make sure you get their stuff. And Tanya's got the best ones. But Tanya, give me some of the good ones.
Also, check out Wormwood's YouTube page.
Worm Life is dope.
Worm Life
It's
is great.
so funny.
Like, shout out to
Drop my
Bobby
dice, I'm gonna
for
murder
making those. Like, he does an incredible. JV and Bobby, they do an incredible job. Just go to the YouTube page today. Like, they do a great job.
Yeah.
But like our dice?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, Wormwood is dope.
Yeah.
Wormwood is dope. Also, are our dice.
Yeah,
From Level Up Dice. So you guys can use our Dicemancy program to help you, to help us, to help you, to help us, to help you, to help us get dice to help you with our Level Up program. Go to bit.ly.lud for Level Up Dice, Rivals of Waterdeep, so that you can get points for us to help you get dice at our Dicemancy program. And also our notebooks. Those dice were beautiful, by the way. Our notebooks
They're
provided
Ymir dice.
by the wonderful folks.
The wonderful goats.
They're the goats of notebooks, the greatest of all time. They are. See? Exactly.
Ghosts.
What's happening?
I saw Serena's like shout. I thought there was a ghost.
It's just my shadow.
Over at the Rook and the Raven, go to the rookandtheraven.com and put in the code RIVALS for 15% off at the rookandtheraven.com to get these incredible notebooks. Check them out. And also, our latest seller friend is our good friends over at Eldritch Foundry. I've got a lot of stuff here, guys. Eldritch Foundry. If you need figurines, if you like miniatures, you want to go to Eldritch Foundry and check them out at eldritch-foundry.com and use the promo code RIVALS DND, Rivals with an S, DND, and you can get 10% off your order. Maybe a little late for Christmas, but as perfect for the new year. These are custom-made miniatures just for you. So check those guys out. We love our seller friends. We want you to celebrate them with us. And I will give these back to Tanya. And I will say, guys, for the last time this season, are you ready?
No.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, wait.
Wait, we have an option?
No, I didn't realize that.
Okay, I didn't
It's
know.
got to be unanimous.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
We're
we're ready. We're ready.
You're
Yes.
very ready.
Previously on Rivals of Waterdeep.
We're by the ocean.
Can someone just make a video of all the times we've done that?
Oh my
Beginning
God,
to
that
end?
Oh,
would be
like a smash
crazy.
cut of all of our.
Just like all
When
the
did it
wishes.
start, though? Season 1?
Yeah,
like season one.
Yeah.
Did we start it back then?
I thought it was
remember
season
when
2.
we
I started it.
Yeah,
I definitely
It was late-
started
yeah,
it.
was
The
late-
first
yeah, it was
place.
late in
Late season
It was
one.
late
Okay.
season
Oh
one,
yeah,
early
it was
season two.
because it was
24
in the audio because he
Right.
would add an actual whoosh.
Oh,
That's
what it
when we
was.
started saying it.
Yeah, look at
Yeah.
that. The brainchild is
Yeah.
Carlos.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
Go ahead and do that though.
I
I know we just talked about it, but I really want it.
Good holiday cheer.
So, guys, what happened last week? Do you remember?
Ren took his life in his hands.
Yes. So Rin did take his life in his hands, but in classic Rin fashion, he tried to throw a rock at Celise, and that didn't work. He missed.
But it was in the name of
luckily.
science.
Name of the science.
Yes, in the name of science.
name
Yes,
of science, yeah.
He tried to hit Celise with a rock to see if she was corporeal, and he missed.
Yeah. But he tried to throw the rock because
Yeah.
we were marching up Harmon's Hill. As we saw in episode 48, Shaka and Celise got separated in a different plane of existence from the rest of the team. So we saw it from our perspective in episode 48. Episode 49, we saw it from the rest of the team's perspective,
Right.
where they saw us doing our motion. So Ren was trying to test and to see if he could break that rock through.
Yes.
through
the enchantment.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And as Celise and Shaka did, you guys met Gondar, right? Gondar, is his name?
Yeah. Jandar.
The guy named
Jandar.
Jandar, yeah. So like you guys were talking to him.
Yeah.
He, as usual, was giving no information at all.
We tried.
Well, but they did learn that Harmon's got, for lack of a better word, a hard on for Perrin. I mean,
Goodbye.
yeah, it's me, right?
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Lack of a better word. There's a lot of
There's
better
so
words.
many
so many
words.
words.
are in your head
Yeah.
I mean, you used it correctly,
No,
but
no, we were correct. It's fine.
Wow.
This is where we are.
So I vote that as a group gift, we get Perrin/Cicero a thesaurus for
Oh
Christmas.
no, yeah, Perrin doesn't need a
what is
thesaurus.
he gonna do with a dinosaur, Tanya?
Yeah. The best
Cicero
kind of dinosaur.
needs lots of things.
You're gonna get it, not in a fun way.
But yeah, so he, so you did learn from Jandar that Harmon is very, very interested in acquiring and keeping Perrin Underbow. So that was one thing that they did learn. But they also learned that Jandar and Harmon were friends at one point.
Yes.
And then they weren't. And now Jandar is being punished. He's being tortured on a tree where he is impaled, a giant metal tree.
Yep.
So that was one thing that they learned. But much like for Shaka and Celise, the episode previous, all of the remaining partners on the team were tempted or were given visions.
Possible scenarios of
Yes.
I would
a
say
future
tempted.
to
Yeah, I would
come.
say tempted. Yeah, there were.
So, Robbie, do you remember what yours was?
Mine was completely normal. I don't
Chill.
know. It was, completely normal. So Robbie ended up riding in on a horse, and basically he could do no wrong. Everything he was doing made him a hero. All the townspeople loved him. And he was kind of liking it, but also understood that, like, hey, this isn't right. like this is really bad.
He tried to fall off of his horse. He was so kind of just
was
uncomfortable with all of the praise that was being heaped on him. He tried to fall off of his horse, but instead of falling off of his horse, he just flipped off of his horse in spectacular fashion. He tried to intentionally hurt someone, but instead fed them.
Throw an apple at somebody.
Then he tried to throw a knife at someone at the table.
No, it was like an apple.
Oh, it was an
apple.
apple. That's right.
Yeah.
It was an apple that
Landed on somebody's
landed
knife.
on the knife. He was told that this is a possible future for him. Rin, what did you learn?
So after a horrible cartwheel, Ren kind of walked into, I guess, the end of a war, and he was kind of confused about what was going on because all these people were coming up to him and kind of giving him, attention.
Right.
So he, of course, took it upon himself to kind of fulfill the role of a hierarchy. And
Well, you were sitting. Rin was sitting on a throne.
yeah, and proceeded to call himself Count Ren.
Count Rin.
And
Count Rin the Regal.
Which I love that a count is lesser than a king.
I know.
But Count Ren is
Yeah.
perfect.
Count Rin the clerical.
Yeah. And then there's a parade going on, and then I know that I can't remember, but wasn't there some point that Ren was told that the reason why that happened was because something happened with his friends. I cannot
Something
remember.
did happen.
Okay.
He made a choice.
Yeah.
And he was given the opportunity to become powerful unlimited, right? And he took that option, and Rin was the most powerful person ever. Someone tried to assassinate him with like a giant bolt arrow missile type thing, and while waving it to his adoring crowd, to his adoring subjects, he grabbed that giant bolt out of the sky and just made it disintegrate. He also killed the assassin who was far away just by looking at them. He was incredibly powerful, but he was also alone.
Yeah.
But he was powerful, so he could do whatever he wanted. And discovered that was a choice that he made, and it could be the truth if he decided to take that choice. And then finally, Ashbourne. What did Ashbourne discover, Serena?
So after, so you like did a tumble, you did a cartwheel.
Right.
Chips and I just kind of like tumbleweed rolled into this giant cave, and in this cave, she was. She found her mother, which was at first it was this large giant golden dragon, and then morphed themselves into the mother that I remember. Right. And so told Ash that Harmon,
It's really Harumon, but we're gonna call him Harmon. Yeah.
That guy had trapped her.
Yeah, well, she was dead. She had been
dead.
She
Yeah,
was
dead.
Yeah, she had been murdered. She was
Yeah.
in Avernus, and her version of torture was to be the steed
Yes.
for Harmon.
Right.
And what she was offering you was the ability not only to reconnect with your mother, long lost, but also the ability to learn your true power and fulfill that, and to help her escape. And the only way that she could escape Avernus was with you and with your help, but only you. And you had to make a choice about whether or not you would stay with your mother and be able to get that matronly love that you so desperately coveted, and help her escape and learn who you are, which has kind of been Ash's quest for forever. So she made that offer to you. And you guys all, I think you all were leaning towards no, but didn't have to make the ultimate decision at that moment. And then you were all taken back to a place where you saw everyone. You saw Shaka, you saw Celise, you saw Robbie and Rin and Ash, and then you looked around and you were in a tavern with a bartender, a large tavern with a bartender who you recognized as Claudius, the murderer of Knock Knock. And on the stage was a man named Harmon, you assume, and in a cage next to a tree was Perrin, bloodied. And that's where we are. And that's where we'll begin today. Guys, this is it. It's the finale. Get ready.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
The world is mine. At least, it should have been. Zariel's task was masterful, and I was the perfect one to accomplish it. And it was working. The people were perfectly unsuspecting until he showed up and ruined it all. For this, and for my humiliation, he must pay. We open inside Harmon's house, on Harmon's Hill, but it is made to look like the tavern where Rin and Shaka first learned that Perrin Underbow may not be who he said he was. The tavern is relatively big, with a huge bar with stools off to the right. A bartender lazily cleans a glass behind that bar. The tavern itself only seems larger than it would normally, given how empty it is. Besides the rivals, there's the bartender, and on the stage, a large raised stage set to the back of the building, and two people. A bloodied halfling in a cage, and a man that can only be described as his executioner. You know these people. You know who they are. And they all owe you something. Behind the bar is Claudius, Knock Knock's murderer. Harmon, Perrin's alleged kidnapper. And Perrin, your friend, companion, and ally, but someone who has clearly not been transparent about who he is. We flash back to what happened in the previous episode, where Harmon was talking to you guys, and he said to you something that I wrote down but don't have pulled up right now. He said,
Well, while you're looking for
yes.
it, how far are we from Claudius?
So you guys have walked through the door. You're probably about 25 feet. You guys are at the front door, just kind of realizing that you're all together and assessing the room. The bar itself is probably about 25 feet to your right.
What type of bar? What like layout from a movie or TV show? Are we talking the Cheers bar? Because that's what I'm kind of thinking.
So it's not a center bar.
Okay.
It is not a center bar.
Okay.
This
It's
a bar on the side.
This bar is on the side.
Yeah. It's more like a performance.
It's like a venue. So like if you were to think about a Western,
Okay.
right, and a saloon,
Exactly.
like Deadwood, you walk into the bar, and the bar is you walk into the tavern. The bar is off to the side so that it doesn't distract you from what the stage in the back. So it is off to the side, and you look around. The place itself is humongous. There are rafters on the sides.
Oh.
So like you can see
Like a little balcony
like balcony
area?
areas on the sides. This isn't it's not a tavern and inn. This is just a place you go to see performances and have drinks, but it is very, very big. The stage is in the back, and
we recognize this as Claudius.
You see him. It's pretty unmistakable.
Okay. Have you found what you're going to...
I have found what I was going to find.
Because I was about to... Well, I'll let you know what I'm going to do after.
So we flash back to last episode where Harmon says, living in Avernus can be quite trying sometimes. It's times like these, however, that make living here worth it. And he points to Perrin Underbow. He spins the the cage around. You see the bloody Perrin as you're assessing everything, and he says, and he shows the tree is right next to him. Above the base of the tree is Perrin's name, and he says, he's fine now, but I think you'll find his prospects to be particularly unnerving. And
Does his voice change like that?
yes. So
weird.
I don't like that.
I don't like that.
None of us like that.
this is where we start. This is where we begin. And now I will give you guys the opportunity to do whatever you'd like to do. What is it that you wanted to do, Shaka?
I really just want
I want to rush Claudius.
Oh,
I don't even.
What?
Yeah, I want to rush
wow.
Claudius.
I was
man.
not
I think we
expecting that.
frightened, right?
Oh, no,
The-
Selisa's going to run
like
over.
the sight of him and thinking about what happened with Knock Knock, you know, Chaka is kind of not doing the smart thing because he really should be more concerned about what Perrin's condition is and figuring out what's going on. But I'll say he kind of loses it
Right.
and starts to charge toward Claudius.
Can I stop him? Can I try to grab him and tackle him?
So you guys roll contested strength.
14.
Oh God. Oh no. That's an 8.
So you, Robbie, go to tackle him, and I will say that you're still kind of discombobulated. Now, for everyone, all of the temptations that you've experienced happened in an instant.
Yeah.
So you've all come out at the same time. You're all kind of still dealing with what happened in your head. Robbie, for you, I think that you started to believe that you were just that good, that you could clumsily succeed at everything.
He's also like he's in this new area and he sees like, oh yeah, I freaking hate that guy, and it's like, oh hey, there's Shaka. It's like, no, don't do it, because like from what I know in the last like whatever hours I spent there, it's just like when you try to hurt someone, only good things happen to them. Right? So he sees his best friend about to attack a guy, and it's just like, no, he'll only get stronger.
So you go to tackle Shaka, and he just slips right through your fingers. Like you go to like grab your arms around him, and it's just like you tried to give him an invisible hug, and he definitely avoids you, and he is making his way towards Claudius. Shaka hears, Sharafka, before you make a rash decision, I think you should stop.
Give me a reason to.
And a tree pops up right in front of your face. Right, a giant tree, it just appears, grows out. It shouldn't be in a tavern.
Tavern,
Right? It just comes out of nowhere above the base of the tree, right as the branches start to part. You see your name, Sharafka.
Can I?
And
Sorry, go.
yes. And at the base of the tree, in the root, or not in the root, I used to be a timber person, guys. What is that thing called? The trunk of the tree.
Wow.
Good job.
What is that
Good
thing?
job, that thing. You know.
This table has problems with like plants and animals, right? Like we don't really live in that world.
We live in a city.
Right. Hey guys, little fun fact about Cicero Holmes. He used to work for the U.S. Forest Service.
Oh, okay.
So yes,
No.
in the forestry division of the Forest Service. Exactly. So the trunk of the tree. In the trunk of the tree is a door. That door opens up. It's about 5 feet in front of you. When you look inside that door, you see Mark and Mira, your children.
Oh God.
And they see you and they say, "Hi, Daddy."
Oh yeah, I definitely kind of. I say I fall actually. I say I'm so stuck. Like I was gonna ask if I could roll acrobatics to avoid this tree.
Right.
But if I see them, I'm just gonna lose my sense and fall on the ground.
Right.
While this is going on, Celise actually casts Beacon of Hope on everyone.
Okay, what does that do?
The spell bestows hope and vitality. Choose any number of creatures within range for the duration. Each target has advantage on wisdom saving throws and death saving throws. Regains the maximum number of HP possible from any healing.
Oh,
Does that last
How
for
long?
like the whole?
It says concentration up to a minute, but I can do it more than once. And it's
Okay.
at 3rd level.
Okay.
So I can encompass the party. Because when I saw him run, I was like, no.
right. Okay, well, so you cast Beacon of Hope. Well done. And Harmon says, "How is that for a reason?" And he looks at the rest of you. Does anyone want to do anything?
So, can I say, as Shaka is like he's running, Robbie grabbed him, that they're being distracting,
Yeah, sure.
right?
Sure.
I just want to kind of sneakily walk by the bar. Is it so the bar itself? There's the bar. There's Claudius behind the bar.
Yes.
Behind him, are there shelves of liquor? Where is the liquor in this bar?
You know what's funny? You don't see it.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
A lousy
never
bar.
mind.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess I would sneak to look for it. Since there's no liquor, I can tell you, I was gonna try to make a few Molotov cocktails. So, yeah.
He said ooh, but you made a yum sound.
I got really excited.
Someone
I got really excited. It's fire.
Don't drink them.
You know, fire and alcohol,
Bryn,
always
yeah.
great.
Spout that firelight.
So I guess Ash is just disappointed.
Okay. What is everyone else doing?
Are there any seats in this area?
There are a couple of tables. There is definitely more room than there should be. There should be a lot more tables, but there are a couple of tables and chairs near where you guys are standing, towards the front of the back of the front of the tavern, near the front door. But then there's like lots of open space for dancing. Dancing, guys? Dancing?
I mean,
I'm so confused. I'm so confused on what we're supposed to do here.
Break out the power pad. About to turn
like I literally just gonna do a
Dance.
Jason Mendoza. Like,
It's about to be a DDR fight for Harmon.
So Celeste just pulls out her sword and shield, and she tries to pull Shaka to his feet and away from this random tree that popped out of nowhere.
Well, I'm on the ground. I'm crying.
Well, you're
I'm
prone, so I should be able to just pick
yeah,
you up.
because like I'm thinking about
What you
what I
did.
had to do,
Right.
and I'm completely out of. So you could probably do whatever with me. 'cause
Celeste, roll perception.
I'm out of sorts.
Perception. Is that-
Yeah.
Ooh, these dice like me. Perception. 18.
So you see the tree. You see Shaka's name. You see not Shaka, but Sharafka on the top of the tree. You don't see the door.
Okay.
You just see Shaka on the ground crying.
I don't even ask what's wrong because there's a random tree.
Right.
So I just grab him and pull him back.
Okay.
Like away from this random tree.
All right. Well,
He's prone.
yeah.
So. Pull yourself together.
Yeah, and
What's
I'm not
wrong?
resisting.
So
I'm like flailing on the floor.
yeah. So Harmon looks and he sees you guys. And he just kind of chuckles to himself. And if you are paying attention to Harmon, you see a small smile on his face. And he looks at you guys and he says, I'm so glad you have all made it here. I was eagerly awaiting your arrival so that Perrin, the last thing that he could see is his friends abandoning him and ruining his life the way that Perrin ruined mine.
So Ash has sort of made her way to the bar. So she's like leaning on the bar.
Yes.
And she looks at Harmon and goes, "Is that why you're so obsessed with him? I thought you were like a super fan and this was like one of those things where like you try to steal his face so you could be him. But this is completely different."
Well, in a way, young Ashbourne, you were correct. But you would see that this would not be stealing his face. It would be perhaps reacquiring my own. And he looks back at Perrin, and Perrin looks at him, and Perrin cocks an eyebrow, and then you see recognition in his face, and he kind of brings his head down. He puts his head down. Perrin, perhaps this would help. And right in front of you, this being that's about 7.5 feet tall, dressed like an executioner. You can't see really. You can see his face, but it's kind of cloaked. He shrinks down in size to a halfling that looks well adorned, remarkably a lot like Perrin, but not. Clearly, it's not Perrin. But if you were to think, you would think that this is someone who is cosplaying as Perrin. And Perrin looks up and he says, almost at a whisper, Perrin. Perrin Underbrow. This is why we're here. This is the pain is unmistakable. I am sorry, my friends. Please understand, this was not where I thought we would be. We shouldn't be here. So Harmon transforms back. Yes. This is it. This is the moment that I've been waiting for. You see, I was the bard. I was the halfling. I was the great storyteller. Zariel, in the attempts to gain recruits for her great war, sent me to Faerun to find willing participants. And I believed, rightfully so I might add, that the best way to do it is to find fans, friends, compatriots, sycophants, to follow me wherever I went. So, as a halfling, as a bard, I traveled all over Faerun, telling stories, singing songs, gaining fame, and finding people who wanted to follow me. And all they needed to do was sign my list, show that they were a fan, to gain entry into the next performance, to fill the arena. Or I guess that's a crowd. Fill the crowd. And then a few months later, something terrible would happen to them, and they would wind up in Avernus fighting for Zariel until this day, in this tavern, where this one saw me and decided not to be a fan, but to be a thief. Isn't that right, Perrin? Perrin looks up at Harmon, and he looks out across the tavern to all of you, and he says, my great shame is that up until the day in this tavern, I was not Perrin Underbow. I was someone else. But I saw how Perrin mesmerized the crowd, how they loved him, how they made him swoon, and decided, this is what I wanted to be with my life. This is what I wanted to do. And I went off and studied. And when the time came, I became the greatest bard I had ever seen. But instead of Perrin Underbrow, I became Perrin Underbow. But originally, to get myself started, I didn't sing my own songs. I didn't tell my own stories. I told Perrin's. And because I was small and alone, I was able to travel much more quickly than he was. And I got to other taverns throughout the realm much faster than he did, and was able to perform much earlier and much cheaper than he was. And I gained a following of my own and discovered that my talent was perhaps unrivaled. And Perrin Underbow was born. Yes, Perrin Underbow was born, but Perrin Underbrow was doomed. Everywhere I went, I was told that I had just been there. Everyone that I saw told me I was not the famous bard. My recruits started to dry up. The woman that I had conned into falling in love with me, whose father owned the carriage that would allow me to travel faster and more famously than I could, was ashamed of me. And I left her right before it was time to be married so that I could find this Perrin Underbow. Me and Jandar out there. We thought we came close, but Jandar betrayed me to the biggest fans of Perrin Underbow I'd ever seen, orcs. And when I told them that I was the one that they should be pledging their fealty to, they attacked me. A halfling. They attacked me. They killed me and sent me back here. Zariel was none too pleased with my failure, and she decided that my torture would be to be here on Harmon's Hill. And I decided that my torture would be to torture everyone who betrayed me. Second on that list was Jandar, and he is outside my home, being forever punished. But first on that list is this halfling right here, this thief, and he shall be punished, but not before he watches his friends do to him what my friends did to me. Leave me, betray me, and follow their own desires. So to you, all of you, I gave you a choice. And now the choice is yours. And you see, all of a sudden, trees pop up all around the edges of the tavern. Shaka's tree is already there. Ash, you're sitting at the bar, at the edge of the bar. You're kind of looking out that way, but directly across from you on the other side of the bar, you see a tree pop up with Ashbourne and really small lettering and chips, ampersand chips on the top of the tree. Robbie, you see a tree pop up right in front of you. And it says, Robbie, in quotes, Dirty D, Jelly Mint, on the giant metal tree. Rin, you see a tree. On there is Rin, Leodon. And Celise, you see a tree. Celise Astorio is written at the top of the trunk. All of you simultaneously see a door at the base of the trunk open. Celise, You see in that door a man tied up on a chair and a sword waiting for you. Robbie, you hear dirty D as the door opens and you see crowds looking at you. Rin, you see as the door opens your throne and it says, emblazoned in gold at the top of your throne, Count Rin. And Ash, you look through that door and you see your mother waving to you. Ashbourne, let's go before it's too late. Harmon looks at the trees, he looks at all of you, and he says, here you are, all of you. Here is your choice. Take it. Walk through those doors. Walk through those trees to the future that you always wanted. If you stay, you will still be on those trees. And you will sit in anguish forever alongside your friend, Perrin Underbow. I will not be defeated. This portal must be reopened, and it will be reopened as soon as Perrin dies, as Zariel has foretold. So, everyone, Shakai will go to you first. You all have a choice to make. You can take Harmon's gift, this gift of this future, the future that you all wanted, and you can live out your dreams, your fantasies, and live a future that is perfect for you. Or you can stay here and fight. The choice is yours. What say you, Shaka?
So Shaka, I'd say he's still not 100% there. He's still very off his game, off of what he saw earlier, seeing his kids, and I'm assuming they're still at the door. So he starts to walk toward the door, but then I'd say about halfway there he stops because he thinks about how when he was in that dream, their voices started to change, and he made a realization that it was not real. And then he thought about living this life, this seemingly perfectly life that was away from these people that have grown to be his family. So he walks partly to the door, and then he stops, and he kind of looks toward the rest of the party, and then he looks at Harmon and says, I'd rather fight together than live alone, and walks back away from the door.
Your door starts to close. As the door is starting to close, you hear your children, your future children. Daddy, are you leaving? Don't leave us, Daddy. Don't leave us. Daddy, we love you. And the door closes. Celise, what is your choice?
Celeste just smiles at him and uses the tip of her sword to shut the door. She's not about that life, and she's not leaving her friend. She'll have words with Perrin later, but she's not going to leave him to his mercy.
Robbie, you hear the crowds.
Yeah, the camera goes
Might
from
see that statue.
the tip of the sword closing the door, and then I have a trench coat on and a hat. I'm picking up two luggage suitcases at the same time. I'm putting it up. I'm like ready to go. Before I walk through the door, I want to cast Speak with Plants.
Okay.
And I want to talk to the trees in the room.
The trees are metallic. They
Oh,
are
so
not,
they're not real.
they're not
Yeah.
organic trees.
They're like the trees on the hill.
Yes.
On the
that
hill.
people-
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha. So he has he can't communicate with them. He has a completely bad vibe of all of this. And he picks up his bags, and one of the bags says I don't know, Samsonite.
Right.
And then the other one says Samson's, and they look very similar. And he puts both his bags down. And he's like, copyrights? Seriously? This is what we're here for? From the same freaking name? And then they're shouting, Robbie, Robbie, and he just throws his bags in there and kicks the door closed.
You guys see Robbie all of a sudden with a trench coat and bag.
It's out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. You hear what Robbie says. He throws the bags at the tree and they disappear into the tree. But you don't see the door, nor do you see the door closing. But the door closes. Rin, what is your choice?
Okay, let's see. Ooh, so yeah, Ren is.
You see your throne, you see your handler, and you hear faintly, Count Ren, Count Ren, Count Ren.
So yeah, Ren is obviously he has the information from when he was there about what happened. And Ren kind of looks at Perrin and he's like, this is your fault that we're all here. You are the reason Knock Knock's dead. You're the reason that we're in hell. I had my suspicions about you. And to find out that you stolen someone's life because you wanted to be like them, and we're supposed to fight for you, and to live a life that I'm going to lose all my friends anyway, and it was your fault. I cannot fight for someone who I don't trust. And it's not that I don't love all of you, but I can't trust Perrin, and I will not fight for him. I can't do this.
Count Ren, Count Ren.
I
Fighting.
can't.
Count Ren.
Celeste is the only voice of reason.
I'm gonna go.
What?
I don't trust Perrin, and he is the reason why Knock Knock is dead. And I don't think any of you are realizing that you are fighting for someone who got one of us killed. Am I the only one who doesn't realize that?
Ren.
I don't trust him. I don't trust Perrin, and I will not fight to keep him alive after he killed one of my best friends. I will not fight for Perrin. I'm sorry, Celeste, but I'm leaving.
Rin, is walk through.
I'm going.
the
I'm
door.
sorry.
No.
I'm going.
I'm not fighting for him. I'm fighting for us.
He didn't fight for us when he let Knock Knock die and got us here in the first place.
Yeah, but we got to be bigger than that.
We have to get out of hell.
Yeah,
To fight for Perrin? No,
We're not
I will
fighting
not.
for Perrin.
No.
I'm fighting for you. I'm fighting for Ash and Shaka.
Yeah, we're
Do
fighting
you
for
know
us.
how hard it was to wake up in the arms of someone after being alone for so long? To know that I let the murderer of my beloved wife walk away. Do you not understand how much I want to just run Perrin through in this moment? But he'll get justice, if not from me, then from all of us. This isn't about fighting for Perrin, because he can rot here for all I care. I don't want you or any of us to give up our souls or ourselves. Would you really throw away all that we've done, this all this adventuring, all of this sacrifice and hurt. When I was there, I was literally covering him and brought him back and felt his blood on my face as he died. Do you think of anyone in this room? I don't know how much I want Perrin dead right now. If you leave us, it's not because we're fighting for Perrin. We're fighting for each other. He can rot in a cage for all I care, and he may well do that when we're done, if I don't take his head myself.
Walk through the door.
And Celise may actually try to grab him if he keeps walking.
While Celise is saying this, I'm going to close Rin's door.
You can't close Ren's door.
I'm going to try to.
You can't see Ren's door.
Oh, that's right. Well, I'm going to try to get in front of him.
Okay.
I don't know how far away I am from him.
You
Robbie
are
is looking for his door.
right.
That made a lot of sense. He's like trying to find where's the meat. It was here.
Yeah. Ash.
I mean, Celise will even like get on one knee in front of Ren and beg if she
Yeah, I'm
needs
going to
to.
try to get in front of
And
him.
Okay.
Ash is completely unaligned with a lot of this because Ash is leaning on the bar and she looks and says, "Okay, I just want to unpack a couple of things, Harmon. You are angry at Perrin because he foiled your evil plan. He didn't just steal your life. You're acting like your life was this big, beautiful thing. No, your life was to deceive and to trap people in hell. And now you're angry that somebody actually wants to make art and to make beautiful things with it? No, F you, Harmon." And I take out my arrow and I aim it at him.
Okay. Well, I guess that starts initiative.
Ash is just livid. And Ash says, you dare compare your life? You might have had the art, but you did not have the substance."
Yeah, and you probably couldn't even open up this door again even if you wanted to. You probably couldn't even make that happen.
Wow. All right. Initiative.
Harmon's like, you're right, Ash, but that was my job.
Yeah, well, your job sucked, bro.
Yeah. So
Okay.
everyone
Nuts.
roll initiative.
I am staring at these cookies.
I
I
just
want to eat them.
yeah.
Can you give me a gingerbread man?
Initiative food break.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can nibble on a cookie when I'm not
What's
fighting.
this one? This one looks good.
Set it off of
That
her.
one right there.
yeah. So ginger snap.
That's a ginger snap.
So thanks
like
to
it.
the Porterfield Jacksons for giving us delicious
I
treats.
haven't eaten them all day yesterday.
Can I get advantage on my
Sweater.
roll? It
I
wasn't
can't
great.
eat one.
Oh no, I'm good. But yeah.
Oh yeah, these are like inspiration cookies, guys.
Yes.
Inspiration.
Oh, I ate the last one.
Yeah.
In fact, what I will say is Shaka, Celise, and Ashbourne, you do gain inspiration for the things that you had to say and the things that you did to try and keep this party together.
Okay. Sweet. I wasted a nat 20 on my initiative roll.
All right. So,
Sorry, guys.
It's not a waste.
It's a waste to me.
I'll take your nat
I
20.
I don't care what order
do
I
you
go.
mind taking initiative there?
Oh, God. Oh, no. Shaka first.
Oh.
Oh, I got you a crappy roll.
Ew.
That doesn't sound good. And for those listening to the podcast, sorry about us chewing in the
Yeah,
mic.
we are eating Christmas cookies.
Oh, that wasn't a great roll. Oh, well.
So, yeah.
I got a 12.
Yeah, what was
I
everybody's
got a
order?
9.
Right.
12. What was yours?
12.
12. Who has the highest next?
Or what?
1.
1. Okay. Who wants to go first?
Right.
Higher what stat?
Roll off.
Dex.
Roll off. D6. Roll off.
Drag Nabbit.
4.
3.
All right. There you go.
Is Lulu here?
Lulu is here.
Oh.
Oh.
Yes.
Where's she been all the time?
Lulu has
She's
been
like, what is going on?
Lulu has been watching all of this stuff happen.
All right, because like Lulu can't see any doors, right?
No.
So Lulu's like, what is
Right.
happening? Yeah.
Actually, I will say that Lulu can see the doors. Lulu is a celestial. So she is, for all intents and purposes, kind of like a demigod, you know.
She's a demigod?
Not really.
I mean, she
demi-
could go through the dimensions.
Right,
So she definitely
right.
has some.
Right. She's
Some special power.
Right. So she can see what you guys see, but she can't interfere with what you guys are doing. But she definitely wants to get out of here. She knows that the other thing that you guys learned from Jandar is that the portal to get out is
Right.
inside
It's in the
Harmon.
house, yeah.
It's inside Harmon.
Oh, I don't remember learning that.
Yes.
Inside the person.
Inside the person.
Oh,
He
can
has
fix
the
that for
portal.
her.
Okay.
So she is determined to get out of here. Now, she knew that it was on Harmon's Hill. Jandar said that it was inside Harmon. So that is a thing that your DM did not explain well enough for people to understand, but now is doing so. So what was...
So what is Lulu and
So
the other people in the bar?
all right, so Lulu got a 14.
Okay. And then what did Harmon?
Harmon is second to last,
Second to last. Okay.
and Claudius is last. Or in fact,
Okay.
let's swap that.
So Claudius, then Harmon.
Yes.
Keep thinking of Dan Harmon.
Yes.
Yeah.
yes.
Who's
Come
But
on
if you add a
down
U,
to Harmon
Dan Harmon
Town.
is from
No, I know who he is. I'm just trying to remember what he was on.
Community. He's the community guy.
He wrote
before
Community.
Yeah,
Community.
and yeah,
Community. He wrote on Sarah Silverman's show. He's a
yeah,
writer.
Yeah,
So
writer,
he wrote
writer
on those
guy.
shows. Rick and Morty. And,
Yeah, he's the writer guy.
yeah.
So we've got it now.
Got it.
I will say, Rin, your door is not closed. Ash, your door is not closed. So if there is a chance to leave and you want to take that option, it is still available to you. For the rest of you, I will say that the second after, or the moment that arrow was notched and released by Ashbourne.
Ooh, can I shoot?
Yes, you will. That's how we'll start initiative. You saw on each of your individual trees a giant spike at the top of the trunk start to protrude out of these metallic giant trees.
To our head.
Not to
No,
your
it's more
head.
up, right?
Yeah,
It's straight up.
it's up, but it is eerily reminiscent of what you saw with Jandar. If you remember,
Right, he was
Jandar
impaled.
was impaled by a giant spike on this tree. So there are giant spikes on trees with your literal name on the tree. So, Ash, as an attack of opportunity, go ahead and fire.
Does a 17 hit?
A 17 does
Crumbs all over me.
not hit.
Can I use my inspiration?
You can use your inspiration.
I'm gonna try again.
Go right ahead.
Does an 18 hit?
It does not
Freaking
hit.
frack.
Freaking frack.
Does not hit.
That's fine.
So you shoot the arrow. The arrow is going, it is true. You aimed right at Harmon's head. And Harmon sits and he's watching this arrow come towards him. And he just cocks his head to the side. And the arrow goes right past him, swings right past him, and sticks into the back of the wall of this bar. And he says, "Well, Ashbourne, I guess you've made your decision." And you look at your tree and the door closes. And as the door closes, you hear, "I love you, my little girl. Be well." And the door closes.
And under Ash's breath, she says, almost to her mother,
Right.
she says, "You will never be free as long as he breathes."
And the door closes. And you could see a tear in your mother's eyes as the door closes. So now we're at the top of initiative. For real. Who is at the front?
Shaka!
Chaka. So I'm going to use True Strike.
Okay.
So there's no saving throw or anything. I just point my finger and I get an insight into the target's defenses and vulnerabilities.
Okay.
And I
who
want
are
to
you
use
pointing-
that. I want to use that against Harmon.
Okay. So you find out that Harmon is immune to fire and poison and resistant to acid, cold, bludgeoning, piercing,
Oh my God, what?
and slashing from non-magical attacks that aren't silvered.
Okay.
Final Fantasy
As
boss?
as we established, I think last season, I'm going to use my hand signals
Yeah.
to communicate that to
Okay, well,
everybody.
bludgeoning. Okay.
Poison!
That's definitely okay. Yeah.
Got it!
Something about social media presence not being good. I don't know all these. I don't quite understand.
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
Sweet.
Next up is Lulu. I love this because, y'all, I need to get a new Chromebook because the memory on this one is really slow. It's hard to scroll. So Lulu is going to buff you guys because she's kind of squishy. And she knew she needed help to help you guys, or to get help from you guys. And so she is going to cast a thing that Cicero can't see right now because
Oh, it's all little.
yes, it is
You just
all
have
the
to.
yeah. Well, yeah, that it takes a lot of.
Have you tried meowing?
Yeah. No one at the podcast knows what I'm doing. I'm making like an enlarging finger
Right, yes,
symbol with my
yes.
hand, and I'm making a meowing sound. Yep.
If you ever want to big in something, big in
Right, and
something.
big and
Big
yes.
in it.
Bark. Make something smaller. Bark. Make something bigger. Meow. Welcome to Google.
Google.
What are you looking for?
He's looking for stats.
And big
Yes.
in.
Oh, that I can't help you with.
Yeah. So,
Well, what,
yes.
Did you find it?
Yes. So Lulu decides to cast Aura of Invulnerability.
Ooh.
And it is an invisible aura that casts a 10-foot radius sphere around her for as long as she lives. And anyone who is in the area, because I'm the DM, I'll say that you will feel the effects of it. She is still close to the door. She is back behind you guys, hovering. But that is going to protect her and anyone that is within that 10-foot radius.
Invulnerability?
It is invulnerable. Yeah.
So invincible can't be harmed.
Yes.
Oh.
So any spell that is 5th level or lower will not affect anyone inside that barrier.
Bad sign, but okay.
Right.
Kind of.
Who is next?
Next is Robbie.
I fooled this motherfucker.
You fooled him.
I fooled him so good. So Robbie peeks around his tree at this giant. How tall is he? He's like 7 feet tall.
He's
or
like
something
7
that?
feet tall.
Yeah. What does he look like?
So he is dressed in black.
Okay.
He has a weird kind of like hipster knit hat, but it is metallic.
Like a
On-
slouchy hat?
Yeah, like a
Yeah.
slouchy hat.
Okay.
But it's metallic. He has a black trench coat cloak thing on.
Okay.
And he is carrying a giant FU sword
Oh, okay.
that like is just at his side.
He's a hipster with a sword.
Yeah, oh
Does he have
yeah.
a beard?
So
Does he have like a
Sephiroth.
short beard?
Yeah, like kind of like Sephiroth.
Okay.
Yeah, but all dressed in black, giant black boots. He looks like somebody not to be trifled.
The hipster beard and like a.
So yeah, so
kombucha?
imagine an executioner in armor, but instead of a giant axe to behead people, he has a great sword.
All right.
I want to, so Robbie peeks around the tree, looks at this dude, and kind of draws a little circle with his finger, and I'm going to cast Hold Person on him. So it's a wisdom save.
Okay.
And he saved.
Yeah. He got a 24.
He's like, no, God. And is there a place for me to hide?
There is not. No, there is. No,
He can see everything?
Yeah,
or-
he can.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, there is. Yeah, it is pretty open.
Okay.
So
Hide behind one of us.
Yeah, right?
We have Celeste next.
So I noticed that Robbie's attempt at holding Harmon fails, but she's also not just going to run up on him. She's going to try to cast Command, but Grovel.
Okay.
It is a wisdom saving throw of 14.
Yeah, he got a dirty 20.
Well, I tried. Then I'm going to Misty Step back to where Lulu is.
Good grovel. Good grovel. What is it, Family Feud
Because
style?
I just had to stay. I didn't have to move to do it.
So your what was the spell that you used?
I just tried Command.
Okay, so because you tried a command spell, I will say that you can't use Misty Step
Okay.
now.
Then I will
But you
actually-
yeah,
I
so
can
you
move.
can
I'll
use
move.
you can use your movement to
Right. So I'm backing up a little like, well, shit.
right.
Join the club back here, Celeste. This is the Welsh shit club.
Back out, I got you.
Next up is Rin.
Oh.
Remember, he's
okay.
immune to fire.
So
So don't go. Walk out the door. Just turn around, run.
okay, so obviously like with high emotions that are going on,
Now,
and the
yeah.
door is still open.
So I will say, Rin, you have drawn your line in the sand.
Yeah.
So I will remind everyone that there is both Claudius and Harmon, but I will remind Rin that there is Claudius and Harmon and Perrin there
Perrin's flammable.
to attack.
and he's in the cage. Perrin
is in the cage.
Okay.
Okay. And the door's still open, right?
Your door is still open.
Okay.
Right.
Is it possible for Ren to literally stand idle for?
You can
an
hold your
action?
turn.
Hold
You-
action?
Yeah, you
Okay,
can
so-
definitely hold your action.
Yeah, I could totally see Ren kind of standing there and being like, "No," just like shaking his head. He's like, "No," and he just sits there.
All right.
Yeah.
So Rin holds his action. Rin is deciding what he's going to do.
Cool. Next up is Ashbourne.
All right. Ash.
All right. So, on this bar, you said that there are no bottles of alcohol. Is there any other bar things on it? Like what's around me? What props do I have?
All right. So,
Got some
Claudius is
Yes.
behind the bar, though, right?
yes, Claudius is behind
Yes.
the
got some
bar.
PBRs.
Yeah. Deciding what to do.
Miller High Life.
Yeah.
And Milwaukee's Beast.
So there are some glasses that are hanging. How close are you to? So the bar is a long bar. There is a door in the back of the bar. So like to get to the storeroom for the bartender, and then they're on the edge at the end of one side of the bar. I guess closest to the front door would be a little door so that the bartender can get out and
Okay.
service the bar. You said you were at the end of the bar. Which end of the bar are you at? Are you at the end closest to the stage, or are you at the end closest to the door?
So I think that as she was yelling at Harmon, she was walking towards the stage, kind of shrieking at him.
Right.
But so she'd be at the end of the bar, closest to the stage.
Closest to the stage. Okay.
Yes. However,
Yes.
What I'd like to do, if possible,
Okay.
where's the flippy door?
The flippy door is on the other side.
Okay.
Although, you know what? Normally you don't do this in initiative, but roll an investigation. Let's see.
Ooh,
What
initiative
is-
investigation.
Yeah.
Boy,
That was really bad.
that was so bad.
It was very bad.
5.
Okay. Yeah. So, the flippy door, as far as you know, is on the other side.
Cool. Instead, because what I wanted to do would have been interesting, but I want
You
to.
could still maybe do it.
Great. I'm going to try to do this. I'd like to rip part of the bar off and slam it into
Whoa.
Claudius.
Roll strength.
Okay.
Sweet.
Cool. I'm in a bar fight now. Like,
I mean, that dragon.
With a literal bar.
the literal bar.
You have to use a bar
Freaking
in your
frack.
fight, or else it is not a bar fight.
No, that was a very bad roll. You're in dice jail. That was a 8.
That was an 8. You tried
Very
to grab the side of the bar. You rip off the top of the bar. It turns out that the other side near the stage was another way to get into the bar, and you go to throw that at Claudius.
Okay.
But in your rage, you don't know how to throw it because you've grabbed it with two hands to try and rip it off, and then you just kind of like push it at Claudius, but it flies over his head because of your rage, and it just kind of falls harmlessly to the ground.
Okay.
What you've discovered though is inside the bar, underneath the bar, is where all the liquor is stored.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's Claudius's turn now.
It is Claudius's turn now. He looks at you guys and he smiles and he says, "Hey guys, I was just doing my job, but I guess it's time for some overtime." And
That's
a pretty cool thing to say, actually.
This whole season has been an action flick.
That's
and I'm
pretty cool.
for it.
I ain't gonna make fun of that guy.
Die already.
It sounded really cool the way he said it. Now it's time for some overtime. That's pretty good.
It's like such a Danny Glover.
I'm too old for this.
So Ashbourne, you tried to do a lot to him when you guys were at the when you were in Mahadi Square Garden.
Yeah.
So he remembers that.
Yeah, I try to drop the whole thing on him.
Yeah, and so he pulls out a sword, and he goes to attack you. let's roll
Oh.
where it lies.
How come you couldn't get that earlier?
Does a 10 hit?
No. Her armor class with her new armor, which I just logged in, is 16.
Ah, all right. Well, I would hope that a 10 wouldn't have hit before.
That's true. It wouldn't have. But she was running around in no armor for the last 4 seasons.
So she's very lucky.
Yes. And I realize I do have luck. So
Right. All right. So he goes to swing as you are throwing the board at you. So he moves back and he swings at the same time and he misses you. But then with his second attack, he spins around inside the bar and he steps on the little piece of the bar that you have thrown, and he has closed the space significantly. And crit fails his way
Wow.
into stabbing himself.
Oh, good.
Like he goes and he's like when he swings, he makes himself dizzy because he just goes around in a complete 360, and he slices his leg for 10 points of damage.
So is he Kevin the second?
Yes, he Kevin the second himself into slicing his leg in his thigh pretty badly, and he loses 10 points of damage.
Dang.
Just a dude trying to work overtime.
Yeah.
Now he's got to get workers' comp.
But can you get workers' comp if you stab yourself?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
If it's on the job.
Right, exactly. As long as the investigation fails.
It is Harmon's turn. Harmon.
Unless he's clocked in.
Harmon, yes. So, Harmon looks at both Shaka and Celise. He's worried about Ash because Ash fired the arrow, but she's otherwise engaged. But he's looking at Shaka and Celise, and he pulls out his Hellfire Lance and throws it directly at Shaka.
Doesn't sound nice.
Does a dirty 20 hit?
If I don't answer, what is it? It does.
All right. Yeah.
That's not what you ever want to hear.
Oh man.
Stop whispering. Stop whispering. Also, stop rolling.
Yeah, you should have led with that one.
Yeah.
Stop rolling, please.
Rolling, please.
So it's 11 points of piercing damage. So he runs towards you, Shaka. This Hellfire Lance, like as he's running, this lance just appears in his hand, and it's flaming.
Okay.
And he, with his momentum, kind of like if you guys have ever watched the javelin throw in the Olympics, kind of like that. He's running slowly, and then as he picks up speed, you see this spear appear in his hands with flames, and he launches it at Shaka. And it hits Shaka right in the shoulder.
Oh.
And it goes through you. It pushes all the way through you for 11 points of piercing damage and 17 points of fire damage.
Okay. I am resistant to fire.
So then
just
8
11?
points of, you're not immune to fire.
Yeah.
So
I'm
8
not
points of fire damage. So a total
19.
of 24 points. Would I say 16?
You said 11, right?
Oh, 11. So 17 points of damage total.
Okay.
Right.
I thought you said 11 and 8, but whatever. So.
Yes. Oh, no.
19.
19 points. Yes. Math guy. Math looks good.
To my detriment, yes.
Yes.
To my detriment, I corrected you.
Yes. Mathlooksgood.com.
Good job.
So, yeah,
I can't control my own. Even if it hurts me.
so 19 points of damage combined, but 8 points of fire damage. So who is up next?
Next is back up at the top to Shaka.
All right.
All right, well. And this went through me, you said?
Yeah, so it...
Did it magically go through me, or do I have like a gaping hole?
You have a
in
gaping
my,
hole.
Oh my God.
Yeah. In your shoulder.
All right. Jeez. All right. Well, I am. Well, first of all, I'm kind of shocked by that, but I am going to try to do an Eldritch Blast. But because I get 2 beams, I'm going to aim one at Claudius and one at Harmon.
Okay.
So I'll roll. First, I'll roll towards Claudius.
Sure.
All right. Does a 23.
At Claudius?
Yes.
Definitely hits.
Sweet. All right.
Get him.
And I'll just do the damage to him as well.
Well, hey, what I'll say is roll both of your hits first.
Okay. Because that was a pretty good damage roll.
Okay. All right. You can keep that damage roll.
All right.
But roll now before you...
Okay. Before I tell you. Roll.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. Does a 19 hit?
No, you should have swapped them, man. You should have swapped them, but you can swap them. Yes. So
well, see, I thought I was going out of my left and right hand, but really it was out of my
right and your left hand.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
Exactly.
You know, I got my lefts and my rights mixed up.
That's right. That's what it was. Totally.
I got my lefts and my rights.
All right,
So Shaka,
so I'll roll damage on that one as well.
no, whatever you got.
Well, I rolled damage only on the first one.
But the second one didn't hit.
Well, no.
No, but you let me swap, so they
Right.
do hit.
Oh.
That damage is for both of them.
Okay, all right, 15.
15
Yeah.
points of damage on both of them.
Yeah.
All right. So because they're the same blast, just in different hands. Exactly. I see what you're putting down. So Shaka, explain to me how this Eldritch Blast happens and looks.
So I'm still, I would say, recoiling a bit from having this dagger go like up through me.
Right.
But it also gives me a sort of sense of rage and immediacy.
Yes.
So as I'm falling back, I stumble back and I kind of put both hands out, one in the direction of Claudius, who I believe was like to my left or so, and like one directly in front of me, which is towards
Harmon.
Yes. And like as I'm sort of gasping out from the pain of the javelin, I blast these 2 beams.
All right. So the beams, they come out, and you see these blasts, this like beam of light form in the hands of Shaka, and they just shoot out. The first one goes off towards the bar. It hits Claudius square in the chest, and he falls back, hits the glasses back behind him, and the glasses shatter. And I will say that he takes another point of slashing damage from the glass, cutting him. So he takes 16 points of damage. And he's pretty hurt, guys. Good job. And then the other blast, Harmon kind of looks over at Claudius. Harmon doesn't realize the other blast is coming towards him. He gets hit right in the chest, and he stumbles back a little, falls, and hits the back of the stage, and he takes another 4 points of damage because the blast, the concussion blow was so strong that he hit his back up against the stage. When he hits his back up against the stage, the cage, the kind of bird cage that Perrin is in, falls over. And now Perrin is just kind of falling and rolling, like as the cage is rattling on the stage, but he is on his side.
You fall out of the cage?
He has not fallen out
okay.
of the cage. The cage is still seemingly locked.
Oh, nice. Seemingly. Okay.
Yeah. Who's up next?
Next is Lulu.
Oh. Shit.
That DM struggle.
So Lulu, don't do things now. Lulu
Lulu holds her action.
Yeah, Lulu's just hanging out by the bar, having a nice cocktail.
Lulu has a straw sipping through her trunk. Lulu actually does hold her action because she is sitting in the back. She is still observing what is happening. There isn't much that Lulu can do that will aid people, and she is not in imminent danger. And so she does hold her action.
It is Robbie's turn.
All right.
Robbie's turn.
Robbie's turn.
How close is Harmon? I keep thinking of Van Harmon. Harriman from everyone else.
He has moved back. I would say he's probably 35 feet away from everyone.
Okay, even Perrin? Because Perrin's
No.
not
He is,
Perrin.
yeah.
Perrin's there.
Yeah. He's
Okay.
probably 7 feet from Perrin.
Okay, sorry, Perrin. I want to cast Ice Storm, although he's in a cage.
Yeah.
So maybe
they can go through the grates.
Are we honestly that worried about Perrin right now?
I want to cast an Ice Storm. It's a dex save of 14.
All right. So, he's not very dexterous. So 9 for him.
Okay.
And for Perrin, 17.
Oh, okay.
Perrin's in the cage.
Bracing himself.
Okay, so he does have. Does he have resistance to bludgeoning and cold, right?
Resistance, yes.
Resistance. Okay, so he'll take half of this.
Yes.
Okay. So the bludgeoning, he takes 9. No, not 9. He'll take 5.
5.
Yeah. And then the other one is, let's see. Let me take 6. And then what's that?
That's the highest of 6.
Okay. So he'll take 6 of that too.
So 15?
Yeah, is that what I said?
I have no idea.
Yeah, you said 9 and 6. 9
No,
and 6.
I think wasn't it 5 and 6?
5 and 6.
Yeah, it's 5 and 6. So 11.
Yeah, all right. So
This guy's hard, guys.
It's hard.
How to get like
it's almost like
resistance and
yeah, it's
immunities.
almost like you're fighting a final battle.
Whatever.
Right. It's
Burn
crazy.
it down. I should have picked the tree.
Oh, wait a minute. That is right. Okay. So the ice storm hits. It comes down. You see, you guys are looking at the stage, and this place is weird. You acknowledge that it's weird. You know Robbie. You know that Robbie does weird things.
What?
Robbie.
Hold on. What?
Right.
Is this something everyone knows about me?
Yeah, man.
What the toodaloo?
Stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Oh, is that what I
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I understand that.
Robbie creates, like, Robbie's eyes go ice blue, and then above the stage is a gray cloud. And from that cloud, it seems like at the top of the cloud, there is snow. But then as it comes down closer to the ground or to the floor, since you're inside, all that snow congeals together and forms icicles. And you're watching this happen, and then they're just coming down. And they're shooting down, shooting down, shooting down, shooting down. And they hit Harmon once, twice, 4 times, 12 times. And Harmon's face has a little bit of frost on it. And he lets out a grunt. Whose turn is it now?
It is Selisa's turn.
Who am I physically closer to?
You are physically closer to Claudius. He's about 25 feet away from you, but behind the bar still.
Okay.
Now emotionally close.
Right.
Is he still like tripped and fallen and prone?
He has fallen and he's not like on the ground, but he has like stumbled up against the back wall of the bar.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of in a bad way.
All right.
I like that. I like that look. I like that look.
So Celise is kind of focused on him because of him killing Knock Knock.
Sure.
She wants to like Captain America her shield right at his head.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
I will say you're throwing it like a projectile.
Yeah, so kind of like doing a quick turnaround and just
Yes.
whipping it off. her arm.
So roll to hit.
First we had javelin, now we have discus.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
so I
shot
would say if you've got like, do you have like crossbow stats or anything?
No, I've got longbow and unarmed strike.
What is your longbow
I'm
modifier?
sorry, long sword.
Oh, okay. So I will give you +2 on this attack.
Wouldn't it be an unarmed strike though? Because I'm.
Like to throw is
a ranged
like
weapon.
daggers.
It's a ranged
ranged
weapon.
weapon.
It's a ranged weapon, so
Yeah.
+2.
All right, don't fail me, dice. That is a 19.
That hits.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Roll for damage.
Oh God, what am I rolling? Normally, well, for unarmed strike, it just says 4, but doesn't tell me what die to roll. And my sword is 1d8.
Let's see.
Or it could actually no.
It's
my
a big
melee
shield.
It's
Right.
a it's a
Yeah. Big
D10 plus 3
That's a
All
big
right.
shield.
Well, there you go. D10 +3.
because it counts as my melee weapon.
Right.
10.
10.
So I just like pivot on one foot and just like as I'm pivoting, I loosen the straps and just fling it right at his head.
You fling this this shield. And what did you do? How many? 10 points
10
of damage?
points of damage.
Yeah, what is that considered?
It's melee, right?
Yeah, melee.
No. What type of damage?
Oh.
Yeah, bludgeoning.
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 Or
Bludgeoning.
bashing.
Yeah.
damage, yeah.
Bash damage.
Yeah.
Bash.
And I aimed at his head. So
Right. So, you do this, and you go to attack him with the shield, and he puts his hand in front of his face, and he moves his face off to the side where the shield was aimed. And you cleave his hand at the wrist right off of his arm. So now
it
he
still
is.
keeps going, right?
It goes and sticks into the wall.
But he,
So
Like he moved his head.
he moved his head, and he lost his hand for moving his head.
so he's no longer armed.
He is. He is. He lent you a hand. He lent you a hand. So
Don't act like you're upset. Of all the people,
you're upset only because you didn't say it first.
true.
I'm above all
Are
these
you?
jokes. First of all,
No, you're not.
I object.
Okay,
I rest my case.
Toodaloo.
It's Rin's turn.
Okay, so
Can I stack these turns?
so yeah, Ren is like looking at everything that's going on, and he like looks at Perrin, and then he looks at Harmon, and then I kind of want to start walking towards the door
All right.
for my action.
Yeah, and you get 2, right?
Well,
because he held his action.
you
last
held
round.
your
Yeah,
action
so you get
last
2
round.
if you
So,
want.
what do you want to do? Do you want to walk through the door, or do you want to walk towards the door?
I'll walk towards the door.
You're walking towards the door.
in your tree.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, just a casual, nice.
Yeah. So he is. He is.
Amidst the chaos.
So amidst the chaos, you guys see Rin walking towards his door. You see what everyone is seeing is Shaka was just struck with the Hellfire Lance, and it went through him, and so you see the fire, the flame in the hole in Shaka's shoulder. You see then Shaka's blast come out and go towards both Harmon and Claudius, and Claudius falls back and almost hits the ground. You see Harmon fall back. As that's happening, almost in a fog, almost entranced, you see Rin slowly walking towards his tree. Just as Rin is walking towards his tree, Salisa's shield goes right past him as he is walking towards. He's laser focused on that door where he hears Count Rin, Count Rin. The shield whizzes by his ear and cleaves off Claudius's hand. Rin stops, looks at Claudius, now one-handed, and cocks an eyebrow and stands right in the frame of the doorway in the tree. And he hears even louder, Count Rin! Count Rin!
Okay, it is Ash's turn.
All right.
So, unconventional idea.
Okay.
As it's me.
Right,
So
right.
it's
Shoots and
thoroughly-
ladders.
Shoots and ladders. We all play board games. No, so I would like to grab 2 bottles of the alcohol under,
Right.
and I want to use my movement to run to Ren and RP that. So grab 2 bottles.
Right.
And maybe fashion Molotov
Okay.
on the way.
Right.
And then use the rest of my turn to
While
RP
you're
with Ren.
running, you're just.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So you're creating these Molotovs.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, guys, it is almost time to end, but it is finale day, so those rules don't apply, baby. Stick around. We're still here. All right, let's go.
Cool.
So you.
So I
Ash.
am running with 2 Ren, 2
Right.
unlit Molotovs
Right.
in my hand.
Yes.
And I go to Ren and I
Yes.
say, the biggest trick that an abuser does is to convince you that everything else is your fault or his fault. The person responsible for Knock Knock is Harmon. Don't forget that. And I light those Molotovs and I hand one to Ren.
I love it.
That's good.
I
That's a
love
good
it.
And then walks through the door with a lit bulb.
They all keep calling for him. Throw it at me first.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah,
That's
that
good.
was, that was really good.
That's a great moment.
That was really good.
Movie explosion
You know
moment.
what, Ash? Inspiration.
Damn you.
That's awesome.
Damn you. That was really good.
That was great.
All right. Who's up next?
Claudius.
All right.
You know what, Harmon?
So, quick question: would Claudius be taking persistent damage from bleeding from wounds through a wrist?
Yes.
Because that's an artery.
Yes, he is.
be awesome.
He is bleeding. He is bleeding.
Yeah, he's hurt.
He is hurt. He's hurt pretty
Yeah,
bad.
he's hurt pretty bad.
Luckily for Harmon, that was not his sword hand. He is enraged. And he
Doesn't care.
leaps over the bar and charges at Celise.
He should have disadvantage. He's one-handed.
Well, it's like, how is he holding a sword, leaping over the?
He's
Like,
like
did he just
bleeding.
like vertically jump and come at me?
Yeah, hey.
Oh, he's a good jump. He's a high jumper.
Right, yeah.
He's a high jumper in his.
Let's
high
talk about
jumper.
these ceilings, though, because he's 7 feet tall. He's 7
that's
feet
how
tall.
Harmon
And
is.
he's on a
Yeah,
stage.
Wait, is Harmon running at me or is?
No,
Claudius.
it's
Claudius.
Oh, Claudius.
Claudius.
Okay,
So it's like,
gotcha.
All right. So does a 12 hit?
no.
Oh, wow, what a flex. So he goes to swipe at you. As he charges at you, he goes to swipe at you diagonally, and he realizes he doesn't have the strength that he once had when he had two hands. And he misses. But then, he understands what is happening to him
Oh yeah, that's right. He has 2 attacks.
and instead goes, once he swipes down, he uses his momentum to swing his sword back up and stab you directly in the gut.
It's a crit.
It's nat 20, he crit.
Like you found that one.
Yeah.
Piece, that one piece.
Oh, wow.
Plus, if you add that together, it has
Right.
like 30.
Right. Yeah. Oh, crap. So he does 18 points of damage with this stab. He stabs you right towards the gut with the sword. Comes back around.
Oh, that's all.
Oh, look at that. I mean, I did cut it down a little bit.
I
But,
know, but it's just like,
yeah, but all right.
But Celeste is also not real happy right now.
Yeah.
But she lets out a horrible, like, angry growl.
Yeah.
And she's like, wait, because he stabbed me in the gut and I'm wearing armor, is he stuck? Can I get an attack of opportunity?
So he pulls it out. Actually, no, you know what? It is stuck because he's only got the one hand. So he's trying to pull it out.
Can I get an attack of opportunity?
You absolutely can. I like that. Let's go.
Oh, that was well with my plus.
Yeah.
Because he is stuck there, does a 16 hit him?
A 16 ties.
Oh. So what
Didn't
do we
you have advantage? Didn't you have inspiration?
Yes.
Do you want to use it now?
Yes. I will keep that other score.
So you
It didn't work, but at least it wasn't embarrassing for you.
So as a tie, what do we have to break with?
tie goes to the defender. Yeah. So he's
I can't just like smack him with the palm
right.
of my
So
sword.
you go
Like,
to
stop it.
right. You go to smack him with the butt of your sword, and as you were doing that, he managed to get his sword out, and you just hit blank air from where he was, and he moves back, and
Bad enemy.
He licks his lips. He's a little hurt. There's a trickle of blood coming out of the side of his face, but he smiles at you. And when he smiles, his teeth are also bloody.
Oh, this makes me so happy.
Yeah. So who's up next? Is Harmon?
Yep.
It is Harmon. Harmon just saw what happened to Celise, and he is going to go after Celise.
Okay.
Oh, he's coming down from the stage.
So you all know that I'd basically taken an oath of vengeance. This is not going to help anyone.
So Harmon, goes and he starts to run towards Celise. You've seen this before. His hand is up, and in his hand forms this hellfire lance. And he goes, and he's running, and he tosses the hellfire lance at Celise.
Can I dodge?
You can't dodge that. You can't dodge a nat 20.
Another one.
Oh my gosh, you're rolling so high.
Yeah.
You swapped our dice. From Those are literally the same color dice.
Yeah.
Oh man.
The Hellfire Lance also has a plus 10 to hit. But it was a nat 20. So, jeez.
That's okay. I can cure wounds. Can I Misty Step away?
No, you can't Misty Step away from a nat 20.
But you can.
Can we get a do-over? I think I hear my mom calling me. I gotta go. We'll just pick it up next time. I'll remember where we were.
So you took 22 points of piercing damage.
Oh, Jesus.
And you took 34 points of fire damage.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So
You took 50 points of damage?
yeah.
Well, shit.
Wait, are
No,
you
are you okay?
are you down?
You did?
I'm not down, but
mean-
I am mad.
That was just my gut response.
my
Are you down?
I'm hurting. I'm hurting, but that's okay. I'm a paladin.
So this
Hold on. I have Beacon of Hope.
Beacon of Hope gives you what?
Wisdom, advantage on wisdom and death, and regain the max number of hit
Hit
points.
points on a heal.
Right, so when I heal, I'll get all my hit
You'll
points.
get all your hit points back.
Oh, okay.
So in the meantime, what happens is you were prepared because you saw the Hellfire Lance go through Shaka. You were prepared for it to come towards the top of you. The lance is coming directly towards your shoulder, like towards your heart, and you go to dodge out of the way of it. So it misses you. It sees this. Harmon knows this. He smiles, and the lance swoops down and goes directly through the middle of your thigh, catching your bone, and goes directly through your leg. Your entire leg is now on fire. What the fuck? Yeah, so you're on fire now.
Stop.
You're on fire. So you're on fire.
Don't you know swooping is bad?
Yeah. Swooping is bad, but these are bad people. So so evil is good. Shout out to Eddie Murphy and Vampire Brooklyn.
Yeah. I was like, why do I know that? That's weird.
So who's up next?
Back up the top to Shaka.
Before we go back
Dang.
up to the top at Shaka, you see movement in the cage. You see Perrin's hands push up, and he looks around. Add Perrin to the bottom of initiative.
Nice. Our boys back in the game. Okay.
Back. Bam! He's heating
So it is Shaka.
It is Shaka's turn. Shaka, go for it.
All right, so Claudius is moved in our group basically because he's next to Celise, correct?
Yes.
I want to finish Claudius off.
Yes.
So I'm going to pull out my short sword.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to slice his other arm,
Okay.
his sword arm, off.
All right.
Well, I'm going to aim for his arm.
Yes.
Hopefully I take it off. We'll see. All right. Not great. 8. Can I use my inspiration from
You
before?
can use your inspiration from before.
Okay.
Please.
12. Not much better.
You go to swing at Claudius. Claudius is hurt, but he's not out. He is a demon rider. He's a hell rider. He ain't no punk. And he sees you swinging and he laughs. Stupid tiefling. And he just moves out of the way. Who's up? That was the end of your turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to move.
Okay.
Lulu.
Lulu sees everything that is happening, and Lulu throws a healing at both Shaka and Celise, does a mass heal. So you get 2d8 at our highest level.
Remember, I get
Right. So
Well,
you
everybody
get 16.
but everybody has Beacon of Hope, right?
Right.
right.
Yeah.
So we get everything back.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
16 points of. Or what? Yeah, 2d8s. Yeah, 16 points of damage.
Yeah. So you get the max
Do we roll
allowed
the
of
D8s
healing.
or we
No,
just-
you don't now because you get
Because
the
of the
max.
Beacon of- okay.
Yeah, because of Beacon of Hope. So you get 16 points of damage.
No, it says
back.
regains the maximum number of hit points possible.
Right. That's 16.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I just want to be
it's
sure.
like rolling 2 8s.
Yeah.
Got it.
So who's up next?
Robbie. Robbie. Jelly mint.
So Robbie, I'll paint the scene for you right now. You are relatively close to the bar, moved up towards the stage. In between you and the rest of your party, you're kind of in the front. In between you and the rest of the party is Claudius, kind of behind you. Harmon is in front of you at the stage with Perrin. Ash and Rin are by Rin's tree with Molotov cocktails.
Okay. And Harmon,
Also behind you, yes.
Harmon is after Celise, right?
Harmon ran closer to you, but he is in between you and the stage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I want to kind of duck around and cast like Pass Without a Trace
Okay.
and go help Perrin. So I want to like help him up and like
Right.
get him out of the cage. And blah blah blah.
All right. So, so you, because you really haven't attacked anyone, no one's really paying attention to you.
Just like in life.
And so you went from being practically unseen to literally unseen. And you make your way to the stage to aid Perrin.
Celise.
All right. So I get 2 actions. The first one is I'm going to heal myself
Okay.
with Cure Wounds. God,
Okay.
I've forgotten how this works. I get 1d8 plus I get 2d8 for that. I've forgotten how to heal. So 9 and so I get 11 back. And then I'm going to use my other attack for Thunderous Smite on Harmon.
All right.
Because he has irritated me.
Okay.
Hopefully all this healing
Now,
also put me out of fire.
Claudius is right next to you, but you're
Oh,
gonna.
is he?
I mean, he's right there.
And like I'm next to him as well.
Yeah.
Then you know what? If Claudius is closer, I'm going for Claudius with Thunderous Smite.
Thunderous Smite on Claudius. Okay.
New dice don't fail me. That is a 25.
That hits.
Yeah, it is.
All right, so I get an extra 2d6 for thunder and a d8. Oh, dice. Sorry. I can't see. I'm short. All right, so that is 9 and Apparently, I can't read today either. 9, 13. 96 is 15.
So 15 points of damage?
Yes.
Celise, you explain how you do Thunderous Smite, because normally you would do Thunderous Smite by banging your shield against, or banging your sword against your shield.
Mm-hmm.
Your shield is still stuck on the wall in the behind the bar. How are you performing Thunderous Smite right now?
Well, because I'm wearing armor, I take my sword and score it against my gauntlet,
Right.
and that's when I like reach over and just stab him.
Are you stabbing down or are you stabbing up?
Is he like, where is he in relation to me?
I mean, he's 5-6 feet away from you, but standing up.
So if he's standing up, I'm going forward straight for the heart.
Celise, I'm going to say, in a wicked sense of judicial irony, instead of going straight for the heart, you're going straight for the throat. The same way that when he shot Knock Knock, he went for the throat.
That's even better.
And you stab Claudius right in the throat with your sword going in vertically, and then you swap it horizontally
And just take his head.
and take Claudius's head right off. You have killed Claudius.
And so she just like punts his head. That's for Knock Knock, you fucker.
And he is done. Claudius is gone.
All right.
Drew a little skull. That's what the initiative looks like. Dead.
Who is up next?
Rin.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm at the door. Now I have the Molotov in my hand. And so Red turns to Ashburn. It's like, I mean, I wasn't gonna go through the door. I was just gonna close it, but I had to do it for dramatic effect. This is even better. Okay, and so can I use my action to like close the door?
Sure.
Okay, so
Well, yeah, you can close the door. Yeah.
You got a burning Molotov in your hand.
Yeah.
And then
But also, like, all his minions on the other side is like, what an entertainer!
Because our turns are close to each other.
Yeah.
Do we want to throw it at the
yeah,
same
can we do it
time?
at the same time?
Yeah. Okay.
Do we have to like roll to throw it or?
It's gonna explode. It's a radial
Okay,
thing,
okay.
right?
Yeah.
So
So go and throw it. Throw it.
So Rin and Ash make eye contact. They nod at each other.
Pause that second. You close the door. The door closes. Crown Rin, your grace. And then and you hear one guy go, "What about my day off?" and then
The guy that was like a table.
Guy.
and then as your door closes, at the top of your trunk comes a spear, a metallic spear, just like all the rest of them. That is at the top. Waiting for you to be impaled amongst it, against it. Now, as you're getting ready to throw, turn it over to Ashbourne, and
then we reach out
This is-
and just chuck these Molotovs. They go whipping, flipping in the air, and smash upon the stage.
all right. So,
Well, let's see, helping parent out of this.
so these Molotovs go above Harmon's head. They look like they're about to hit him. Herman's head, by the way, was a great show.
Oh, yeah, Herman's head.
Yeah, but shout out to someone in the chat who was talking about that as well. But Herman's head, he watches them go above his head. They hit the edge of the stage and set the stage ablaze. Robbie and Perrin are sitting there, and fire starts to surround them. Hasn't quite made its way to Robbie and to Perrin yet, but the stage is now on fire.
We did it.
Yes. All right. Who's up next?
Harmon.
So Harmon looks at the fire behind him. It's at that moment when he looks at the fire that he notices Robbie with Perrin. And he says, "No, I won't be denied." And he starts to run towards the fire. He doesn't care about fire. He's immune. And you see one last time his arm go up. And you guys know what's coming. The Hellfire Lance. He goes and he throws a Hellfire Lance towards Robbie. Does a 26 hit?
To get those
Robbie?
dice away from me. Get those dice away from this guy.
Oh, crap. I believe the first roll is how many dice he gets to roll.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's good. That's good. Well, it's not good, but yeah. Oh, and so Robbie,
Yes.
he does.
Go on.
He does. He goes to throw this spear at you.
Oh, he's probably going to fail on this.
As you're bent over to try and help Perrin, the spear hits you in your hip, and it goes through your hip for 11 points of damage.
Okay.
It gained more fire as it went through the fire.
Sorry.
Physics doesn't matter in this world. It gained more fire.
More fire.
More fire, more fire.
Yeah, more fire.
And it does, I'm doing the math in my head, 22 points of fire damage.
33 points.
No, but
Yes.
you're resistant as a tiefling.
Oh, yeah.
Are you
then
resistant?
it's half.
Resist, so
So
half.
it's half. Okay. So,
So 22 points, so 11 points of fire damage.
Okay.
So 22 points of total damage. The backside of your body is starting to engulf in flame.
why is everyone throwing fire at me?
That's actually true. First the Molotov
Yeah, all at one time. I'm gonna help my friend. You inspired me, Ashbourne. Let's kill Robbie, man.
Well,
What game are you guys
It
playing
was a
right now?
symbol of friendship. You're gonna be fine.
I'll be
just
okay.
fine. You'll be
No,
fine.
it'll be
it's just
good.
fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a little fire.
You're a tiefling. It's
Yeah.
just fire.
Oh
You'll be
yeah, it's okay. I'll be fine.
Last is Harmon is done. Harmon.
Harmon is not done, actually. Harmon has multiple attacks, and he has not been using his multiple attacks.
Come on down.
Guess he was cocky.
Harmon
Yeah.
down.
He was cocky.
So he looks at Celise after she just killed Claudius, and he pulls out this great sword. And
It's like Sephiroth looking sword.
right, and he swings that great sword at Celise. Does a 19 hit.
No.
Yay!
And he swings this great sword at Celise. And Celise sidesteps it as it smashes against the ground.
Please tell me he got stuck in the ground.
Yeah. So
Perrin.
Perrin is up. Perrin looks at his friends. He sees the blood. He looks at Robbie, who is there to help him. And he says, "Please understand, my friends. I didn't mean for this to happen. But it is my fault, as you said, Rin. Now it's time for me to correct it. And he casts synaptic snap. And he also says, please also understand this is what needs to be done. And he points at Harmon, who is in between everyone, but who was actually, you guys were further back, Celise and Rin and Shaka. So Robbie is right next to Rin. I mean, right next to Perrin. So Harmon is actually kind of by himself in a bubble. And he gets hit with this synaptic snap. And let's make sure that I am correct. Yes, he is not gonna like what happens next.
Oh boy.
All right. Ew.
I'm just looking up the spell. Don't mind.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Okay. So Perrin's hair stands on end like there's static electricity. His eyes roll into the back of his head. The cage that he was in melts away, and he is just standing up, and there's blood coming from his eyes. There is blood coming from his mouth. He is like crying blood, and he's drooling blood, and he looks directly at Harmon, and a blast comes out of Perrin, and it hits Harmon. And Harmon looks and can't understand what is happening next. His brain starts to get discombobulated, and his eyes start bleeding. He is starting to cry blood, and he is starting to drool blood. And blood is just oozing out of his ears and out of his nose. And then he looks at his eyes, or you look at his eyes, and they get wide. And Harmon just looks around, and then he collapses on the ground with 56 points of damage. Perrin killed Harmon. Immediately after Harmon drops, you see in the space where Harmon was a portal. And you look through the portal, and it looks familiar. There's lush green grass. You see birds flying around. And all of a sudden you hear Lulu. Oh, I knew you guys could do it. You really are. You really are great. Thank you, my friends. And you look at the portal again, and it's not lush green grass. It's like nirvana. It's beautiful. It's the celestial realm. And Lulu.
My 2-week trial has just ended.
Now with right.
Lulu looks at you all, and she says, and She flies through the portal, disappears, and then when you look at the portal again, you see that lush green grass again. You see the birds. You see Waterdeep. You see the area that was Troll Skull Manor. And you look one last time and you see Troll Skull Manor. You look where the miniature Troll Skull Manor was, it's not there anymore. What do you guys do? Do you stay here in Avernus or do you walk through the portal?
I get my shield
I'm
first.
gonna roll an investigation on the fire. See if there's any.
For the last time, I'm on fire.
There is right. The fire is still raging.
Yeah.
And Robbie is still on fire, and
Yeah, we're gonna stop, drop,
Yeah,
and
we're
roll
gonna
Robbie.
first
Roll him on the ground.
right,
roll like a little burrito.
Celise is grabbing her shield,
Yeah.
And then Celise is gonna limp toward the portal, and she's just gonna like grab Perrin, but like she's gonna scruff him like a dog.
yeah.
Oh, she's so wait until. She just scruffs him. She's like,
Right.
"Oh, you have so much explaining to do.
Yes.
What you think Harmon was going to do to you is terrible. Wait until I'm healed. Wait until I give you to Rin. You betrayed him. You betrayed all of us. You may wish we left you here."
Sorry.
Yeah.
Just because, so Ash is listening to Celise and acknowledging that, you know, we're upset and angry. Right. And I say to Perrin, if you are not responsible for someone murdering people in your name out of their own insecurity, you wanted to create art. You wanted to do something beautiful. This person, their reason for art was to drag people to hell. So don't carry this on your heart. This is not you. This is him, and he is dead.
But my friends, where is Knock Knock?
He's dead. Didn't you hear us?
No. Please leave me here.
No. Oh, no.
This is what I deserve.
Oh, no. What you deserve is worse, and I'm going to give it to you.
Wait, hold on. Did you just want to save him to kill him?
Maybe.
This is a twist.
Celise is not a nice person.
Yeah.
I thought you knew this by
Okay.
now.
Listen, I'm taking my Little Smoke mixtape. I'm getting the hell out of hell.
Yeah, we never found. Well,
Never found
Yeah, I
Little
never s-
Smoke.
Right.
Never found Little Smoke.
Oh, well.
But
Ash is so angry at Harmon, who is dead,
Yes.
because she believes that he is responsible for literally all of the acts that he did,
Yes.
regardless of Perrin's involvement, regardless of all of that. Ash thinks about her mother and how Harmon, she served as his steed.
yes.
So Ash is gonna go up to the tree that was her tree that says
yes.
her name.
Yes.
And I want to punch with my claw, because the door is gone.
Yes.
I want to try to open the door.
oh wow.
Okay.
With
So you
just,
want to claw it?
I want
claw
to
it-
like throw my dragon claw through that door and just like wrench it open.
roll strength.
In the background, you can just see me in my trench coat with
Can
my
I roll
luggage going
an arm strike?
Sure.
17.
You claw at it with your claw arm, and even though this is tough metal, your claws make a scrape through the metal, but that door is gone. You can't get through.
Ash feels like hot tears in her eyes, and she says, I'm not. My mother is here. I met her and she's trapped. I'm staying here to find her.
I'm sorry, what?
When you say that, a beam from the top of the tavern falls directly next to you. And then another beam falls. This place is still on fire. Harmon is dead. It seems like this place that was clearly enchanted is no longer enchanted. You guys probably should get the F out of here.
Well, Shaka, he's been going through a lot during this thing, and not just like physically, like seeing his kids. So he, and not trusting Perrin at this point. So he turns to Ashbourne and says, if you're going to look for your mom, I'm going to help you, because I don't think I just need some time away from all this. I really do.
I have your back. I'll protect you if you tell me where we're going. We can maybe find our way back. With you, I know that we will.
All right. And he looks back at the rest of the party and says, y'all got to go.
You have to go too.
Go!
I got to figure stuff out.
You're in hell.
I am.
Ash and Shaka are close to the front of the door. The rest of the tavern collapses between the rest of the party and Ash and Shaka. The only way to escape for Ash and Shaka is through the door back in Avernus. For everyone else, the only way out is through the portal.
Oh, I'm going.
Celise she's not okay. She's like, we're coming back for you.
And Ash says,
Don't worry. We're tough. We'll find our way out. I promise.
And I promise I'll find you.
All
So
right.
Celise runs through. She's not okay at all. She's carrying Perrin like a little football.
Perrin looks at Ash and Shaka and says, I'm so sorry, my friends.
Stop talking.
I will live up to yours and Knock Knock's legacy.
And then like Shaka says, don't you mention Knock Knock.
Don't you say his
Walking
name.
out of the door.
All right, so you guys walk through the door.
yeah.
And do you leave the Knock Knock or do you take it with you? Do you toss it to you? have the
Retcon, I would love to give it to Robbie.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys walk through the portal.
Yep.
You guys and Ash and Shaka walk through the door. And there you are. You guys are in Avernus. Immediately, Rin, Celise, Robbie, and Perrin are standing outside Troll Skull Manor in Waterdeep, in Faerun. The door opens, and it's Duo. He goes, hey, you guys. Did I miss anything? End of episode. End of season.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah. That's good. Thank you, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope everyone has feelings both good and bad and weird. We went places. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed the cliffhanger, make sure you come back for season 6 of Rivals of Waterdeep.
Come back.
January 19th.
19th?
19th.
Yeah.
January
okay.
19th.
Yeah, 19th.
With me as the DM. No, not me as the DM. That DM chair rotates yet again
To drum roll, please.
Bernie Sanders!
Please have a drum roll.
Yeah, right?
We will perceive the rich.
I quit.
We're going to redistribute all the gold.
Celeste changes her mind. That's what it is.
Oh, man.
To the one and only Mr. Sharif Jackson. Yes.
Bernie Sanders will absolutely be an NPC.
No.
And don't worry, guys. There'll be no puzzles at all.
No puzzles.
Nope.
Hey, look, do we want to give a couple of minutes for questions?
I don't know, man. We're pretty late.
We are kind of late.
Yeah.
Hey, if you have questions, make sure you put them in the Twitters.
Tweeters.
At Rivals Waterdeep on Twitter. Check us out there. Let's get out of here, guys, because I'm hungry and my lips are chapped and my brain is fried.
My brain is chapped.
My brain is chapped. Let's go around the table and say our goodbyes and where you can find us going forward.
Hi, my name's Tanya DePass. You can find me at Cypher of Tears, CYPHEROFTYR. And before we come back for season 6, if you're in the Seattle area or planning to be in Seattle, January 10th through 12th, I will be at OrcaCon running programming, doing some panels. And if you're in Chicago and know what OrdCamp is, I will be doing that after our first session back. So I'm actually already booked through half of 2020. I'm sorry.
All right. Hey, I'm not mad at that.
I'm Brandon Sims. I played Red Leadon. You can find me on Twitter at IamBrandonTV. You can find me on Twitch at IamBrandon. The only things I have going on, next year, Sage Youth Summit.
That's you. But that's not
something else I forgot. But you'll find me somewhere.
Hi, I'm Serena Marie. I played Ashbourne. You can find me on Twitter at SerenaXMarie or on Instagram if you like adorable art at SerenaIsB. I don't have anything that I know of for next year. I'm just chilling right now.
Less than waxation.
Yeah, relaxation.
Yeah, very similar. Hey, my name is Carlos Luna. You can find me on all social media under Carlos Crits. I do not have anything on my schedule anytime soon. So if you have ideas for me, go ahead, send them to me. Send them to Tanya, actually, and then she'll filter them and send me all the good ones.
So I can jump across this table. And if you do that, you better send me some PayPal because I'll just take all the ideas and do them. No.
And I'm Sharif Jackson. I played Shaka. You can find me at sharifjackson.com, SHAREEF Jackson.com, which I will change the forward to Tanya's site so you can send all of them.
Okay, we're stopping this right now. So both of you stop this right now.
And all my social media is under Sharif Jackson. I also don't have anything big set up for earlier in the year, but I do have some stuff for after that. So thank you.
All right. And I am Cicero Holmes. I've been your DM this season. You can find me on all social media platforms as Stubby Stan or at Stubby Stan. I am as Stubby Stan. Yeah. I'm really bad at these things. Hey, you can find me doing podcasts and things. There's a podcast. If you've seen the latest Star Wars film, it's a little indie project. I will be doing a panel about that on the Incomparable Network. Also, you'll be able to find me with Little Red Dot on Twitter doing Teens in Space, where I will be one of the cast members for Teens in Space. Starting this January. Dates and information are to follow. You can follow my stuff there or go to Little Red Dot on Twitter and check it out there. So outside of that, I just want to say thank you guys for making my first DM experience very, very memorable. I hope that everyone in the chat, everyone in podcast land enjoyed this season 5, had a great time. I want to send a special shout out to One Shot Studios for the incredible work and our engineer extraordinaire, the genius that is Joe. Hey man, you're not seen, but you are loved, man. We see you, and we love you. We love you. Thank you so much, man. And hey, guys, the happiest of holidays to everyone. I hope you enjoyed Rivals in 2019. Please come back to Rivals in 2020 because shit's gonna get
full vision.
Yeah.
right. Shit's gonna get weird.
Yeah.
2020 vision.
Because it hasn't been weird already.
Yeah, and also I would check the podcast feed between shows. We might have some stuff
There
Yeah.
may be.
on there. We might have some stuff on our Rivals Twitch channel. Like we might be just messing around with some stuff, and we still have some things, spicy D&D and some other stuff that we
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
in the
yeah.
works. So,
Oh, yeah.
So there might be some stuff between now and the 19th.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Abyssal
Thank you, guys. We love you so much. We've really had a great time entertaining you. And come back. We'll see you next year.
Bye.
Bye.